Hello, ladies. Welcome back to Sports and Mimosa, or welcome to just Sports and Mimosas. It's been a
Been
while
a
since we've had,
while.
as we have said in the last, like this second half of the year has just
I
been
just feel like we need
crazy
to stop
busy.
saying that. Oh,
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
back because
we're back.
for those of you who don't know, Erin and I are very involved in our community.
Yes, that's
So
a good thing.
we think
Yes.
we have a free week and then we don't.
We're like, okay, put this on the calendar and be like, oh crap, this came up.
Yeah.
Like,
But I'm happy to
so
be back. I'm glad we're
yes, I
back.
am. And there's been so much that has been going on. So it's great to like sit down. It's like I kind of just been keeping the notes in. I'm like, we need to talk about this. So when you
Yes.
hit up, like, I'm free, I'm like, yes, let's get this on the books and let's get back to talking so that we can bring some info to you ladies about what's going on. But how have you been, Meredith?
I've been good. I've been
Busy.
everywhere. I think,
Right.
yeah, I feel like I can't even be that person who's like, oh, it's fine. Like, no, like I just made an Instagram post about like my first 2 weeks of November, and it's like I knew I had to post because I was like, I can't fit all this in like a whole 1 month
Yeah.
compilation like I normally do. No complaints, but I was like I said earlier, last week I had like 5 nights in a row of like doing something, and so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stay in this week. So I was like, podcast gives me a reason
Right.
to stay home,
Well,
but
and then
good.
it helps because it got cold for us here in Baton
Yes,
Rouge. So it's like,
it's
yes,
depressing.
yeah, and it's been drizzly and all that. So
Yes. But how
good
about
night to talk
you?
sports.
Yes.
Good, busy again. Like you said, we're heavily involved in our community. So it's been a lot of events. But we're getting into that busy season because it's holiday season now. So just busy, but good, and watching a lot of sports or keeping up, not watching per se, because we've been busy, but
I get
keeping it up.
that.
Yeah.
On
It's
the
like you have it
ESPN
on.
app. On the
Yes.
ESPN app. Yeah, I get
Yes,
that.
having it in. But no, been good. The last game probably that I watched was when we went to UCLA and not USC, UCLA and the Colorado game,
Oh, fun.
which was pretty cool, even though Colorado lost. But a lot has been going on in sports. So what are some of the things that you have been watching? I just want to some stories that have been going on for the last couple of weeks that we can kind of catch ladies up on and discuss with each
So,
other.
on a professional level, I am very curious how everyone is getting hurt this year. I know that like injuries happen, but again, we started the year off with Aaron Rodgers and his ACL tear.
Like
Quote,
4 seconds in.
4 seconds in. And I feel we lost Kirk Cousin recently to an ACL. I just saw somebody else this week, another torn, something with
I
his
think
neck.
Jimmy got hurt.
Yes, like I just
Just
feel like every time, every week, there's someone getting hurt, getting carted off, and then being told, hey, they're out for the season. And I don't know. I know we talk about like the NFL script, and I'm wondering if it's like, are they going to blame everything on the turf? Or they like, is this like a something to like rally behind? Or like, but or I don't know. I just think it's very interesting that that there have been a lot of injuries this past year than what I remember happening in previous years. So I don't
yeah.
know if it's just like something with the conditioning changing, or I don't know. But that's one thing that I've been paying attention to. But with the injuries, I know that we were talking about with Kirk Cousins getting hurt. I've
On
really
the
been watching
Vikings,
on the
Minnesota
Vikings,
Vikings.
who is a lovely human being after watching the Netflix series,
I
the
still have to
quarterback.
watch that.
He's such a just like he just reminds me of like someone who I would go to school with, and all of a sudden they just became a famous quarterback. Like he's just very down to earth.
Yeah.
But with him going out with the ACL, Josh Jobs has stepped up, and he's just been I think they compared him to like Zach Wilson, who's with the
Hmm.
Jets right now, taking the place of the other injured quarterback. Zach only has like 5 quarterbacks for like 4 or 5 touchdowns for the year. And like Dobbs, who just came in halfway, like has already like met that, if not surpassed that. So I think you always kind of like a good underdog story of,
Yeah.
when I mean, y'all know I'm a big Brock Purdy girl, and I just loved that he got to step up into the plate. So it's kind of fun to see a little similar storyline with that. So that's like my injury comeback or like underdog
And maybe it's kind of
area.
like it's the year, like, not that you want those bigger players to get hurt or whatever, but maybe it's like giving those underdogs the chance
Yeah.
because we've seen in a lot of
Mhm.
those cases, like the person coming up behind is getting a chance
Well,
and they're
like our
doing
whole big thing
good.
last year, our whole big thing last year, if anyone listens to old episodes, is that like the old guys are getting out. Like Rodgers and I mean, not to call Kirk Cousins old because I think he's close to my age. But like
But
it's
that in
time for the
football
new
time, that
kids.
is old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's time for
football.
the new guys. So I think it's kind of rushing that process. So that's been fun to watch. Something that I'm really curious to see, and I'm getting my popcorn ready, is I want to know what's going to happen to Bill Belichick after this year. Because a lot of people, like sources have like said, like Robert Kraft isn't above this. Sorry, for anyone who doesn't know, this is the coach of the New England Patriots,
Where
who
Tom Brady
I am
was.
not a big fan of. I'm not a fan of them at all.
But he's been there
But like
for
he's like
yeah,
again,
a
this
while.
what he did, he was fired from New York or Browns, I can't remember, went to New England and turned it around. And now without Tom Brady, which I hate to say, he hasn't been able to do what he wanted with Mac Jones. And now he has like a losing record, which hasn't happened since, well, like before Tom Brady, which
Yeah.
I don't want to give the Jude credit for anything. But again, seven rings, what, not seven, with New
No,
England,
Tom
six,
has 7.
six,
Yeah.
six, because he got one with Tampa. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like 6 rings. What's going to happen to the guy? Because I don't think that, like, I mean, this is a political game, but like again with that history, but also like you're not making any future right now either. So how are they going to do the departure? Is it going to be?
I
I mean,
think
we've
they'll
been
let him
seeing firing.
retire or him quitting.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then it's like
Forced
again, like I
quitting.
really like a part of me is like, is this really the end of Belichick? Like, is he really
Well,
going to
and
retire?
so
Like,
as
where
you
is he
were
going to go? Like,
so
I feel like, yeah.
as you're saying that there Chad Johnson was on the pivot
Mm-hmm.
last week or this week. I listened to it on Saturday. And so, he played for the New England Patriots for a little bit under Bill.
Mm-hmm.
And him and Fred Taylor also went there for maybe a season or half a season. He went there for some time. But they were talking about the New England way and the Belichick and just how like it's ran, and it's very interesting to listen to. But they were also saying with these older coaches and like Belichick, are they not adjusting and why they're not seeing success to fit the guys coming up? Like you
I
can't
believe
run
that
it.
because I
Yeah.
believe that quarterbacks are changing.
Yeah,
I
and you
believe
can't
that,
run it like you listen to
yeah.
me, like you have to relate. And they're saying like Pete Carroll does a great job of adjusting. Antonio Pierce, who now is the head coach, and Josh Daniels, who was under Belichick, I think, worked with him, didn't work out with the Raiders because you're not connecting with the players, and that's where it counts. Like you can't just have this
Well, I think
military style, like
no,
we do
and
it
I
this
think that
way.
that's what happened with Nick Saban. I
Hmm.
think like we talk
Why
about
he
how
didn't
like
work?
Nick
Yeah.
Saban wasn't good in NFL because he was a robot, and it was like, yeah, you
Yep.
can't. I mean, he made it sound like, first of all, I don't think Nick Saban has a heart. I love the man, but I
Oh,
don't think he has a heart. No, I love girl, love me some Nick Saban, but
Miss
I do
Terry
not
gives
think
him the heart,
that
his wife.
he like I do not think he's like someone like again
Yeah,
to have yeah. But they talk about how like he can't control the guys making millions of dollars. Like you're gonna have to
because you
be
can't talk to an
a
adult
source to
like
them.
that.
Yeah,
An
yeah.
adult,
So
because I'm not saying college
um
kids aren't adults, but
no, but I know I think it's very interesting to see how the quarterback has changed and to
yeah,
see how the coaching will change. And I think that's a really excellent point to see if they're
yeah.
not adapting, if that's why they're not having success.
And we just know younger
Because
people, this generations are different, period, no matter
right.
what career you're in or
Mhm.
anything. So even in that NFL, because I mean, we
Yeah.
see Mike Daniels, who is the Miami Dolphins coach, and he might be one of the
Oh,
young, he might not be one of the youngest, but he's like
love that
not
man.
your typical coach.
Have you seen the tweet that's like Mike Daniels just looks like his dad left him
They're
the
playing
team for a
Matt,
weekend, so he's just like
or
running
he's
it until he comes home,
or
and
he's
he's just
playing
yeah.
like his Madden or
Oh,
something.
I
There
haven't
was one
seen
with
that
that
one.
where it's
That
like,
was one that was like, hey, the millionaire left his son the team for a weekend while he's out of town, and that's how like my coaches, and I'm like, I get that.
but
But
I
no,
mean
I
it's
think
working.
that no, that's had my attention because
Hmm.
I don't think that this I like what do you do if you're Bill Belichick? Like I understand that he probably doesn't want to go out this way, but it's also like I don't know who else he could go coach.
He's gonna have to
I
become an advisor. like to
It makes
a
sense.
program. Kind of like Tampa Bay's guy.
Okay. I can see
What
that.
was his name? Oh, I can't think of his name. I keep thinking like him and Andy Reid look alike to me, but he's not Andy Reid.
Bruce Arians.
Yes. Because
Oh,
you
I
know
don't know
how
how I just remembered that, but you dropped that tidbit, and I was like, yes,
I
I never
always
got it.
I always
Yeah,
got them mixed up, but like how when he left
yeah.
Tampa,
After they
he
won
just
the Super
became an
Bowl,
advisor. So he
I
was
think that could
still
work. I
there.
think that he
Yeah.
knows enough. That's a good idea. I'll cheer
Because you
for
still need
Bill that
older
way.
wisdom in any career
And
from
again,
the
I do
vets.
think Bill Belichick is one of the greatest like geniuses of football. But
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we're getting to the end of the
If you
era,
have to adapt to the
and
changing
yeah, and
world.
he's not. I don't think he's going to adapt.
Yeah.
But those are my three things. I also, this is like college professional, like college level, but I want to know what's going on with the Heisman because Jaden Daniels just keeps
I'm upset about
doing
that, but yes, he is.
performance. He is showing up and like everyone's like, oh, but the record or oh, like, well, I'm like, he is literally carrying
Yeah.
LSU on his back. He's put up numbers. He broke history this
Yeah.
past Saturday with the most rushing yards and passing yards. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm getting so aggravated.
Well, I think because he beat Alabama, that helps. Caleb, for one, is
Mhm,
out pretty much now. Like Caleb Williams, but he already
mhm.
have one, so okay, but I'm sad about that. And I think he knew that after the Washington game, because Caleb cried after he lost because it was a tough one. And it made me think back about our conversation with Zach Wilson. And I was like,
I feel like that was our last conversation.
yeah,
I
it
hope people
was.
don't think that like we were mad at each other because I was like, I don't agree with that at all.
No,
And I was like,
yeah, it
what
was
if
like,
no, but I was like,
no.
what if people think that
No, we can have conversations, disagree, and
yes,
then get
yes.
on. But I went back to the, and I was like, dang, I was giving Zach a hard time, and now I'm all like, oh my gosh, my quarterback. um, but
See? See?
but
No.
but I do think uh Jaden does have a running in with that. I mean, I'm not sure who else is in the running because I really only cared about Caleb, but I think he
Yeah.
does because he's,
But a lot
like
of
you
people
said,
keep
beating,
bringing up the
having
record,
records.
and Cody Worsham brought up a really good point because he brought up Tim Tebow with Florida's record. He
So
brought up
Cody is
Armstrong
the
with LSU. Sorry.
LSU, yeah.
He's over their brand and sports
Yeah,
stuff.
I was
He's
like,
really
what's
cool.
his title? But yeah,
I met him this year and I was like, I forgot.
he
It's
is
like,
super cool.
yeah. But he brought up like RG3's record was not a winning season, like, or not
No,
winning season, but not like super,
you don't
like
have
if
to
he
win
had
the,
losses, like,
yeah,
and I think that, and I am going to piss off some people here in our state and in general, like Joe Burrow is a once in a lifetime performance that we're never going to get him. And I think we need to give him his credit and be so thankful and blessed that we got to see someone play like that. But I feel like now because he was undefeated and he did it, everyone like Jaden, it's like, dude, he's breaking records that you didn't break. Like, what's going on? And I feel like, especially down here, how Southern football is, it's just like,
yeah.
well, he didn't beat Nick Saban. And it's like, he did last year. He did last year.
Yeah, I said we beat Alabama. They didn't beat Alabama,
Not
yeah.
this year, but he beat him last
Yeah.
year.
Well, he
And
beat
so,
Florida.
God, thank
Rival.
God. See, I'm going to say this right now, and I'm going to piss off some LSU fans. Bama at least wins. So I don't care. Like, again, I want to win, but like Bama coming in with like the cockiness and whatnot, like, cool, because Nick Saban wins. Florida, y'all don't do anything. Y'all are just trashy little people who don't know how to play football. But y'all act like y'all do. And so I just love to see them get beat every
Yeah.
year. Every year. Ever since they did that stupid, they put like a little dead animal like carcass or something whenever Mike died, and they haven't like won since.
Yeah.
Or they like gone really bad since. And then they did the shoe game. Yeah. Y'all say whatever y'all want about Bama. I hate Florida. So chomp chomp chomp.
I
Back to
think
the
that's a worse rival.
exactly.
Like really
Everyone's
deep down. Like they're
yes.
both bad, but and then I think Florida State is coming up.
Yeah,
FSU is
they're
like
starting to
those
get
are
it.
the three that it's like,
They're a little classier than Florida, I think.
but yeah, but I mean the games that were like,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
you have to beat these.
Yes. So those are kind of all the things. I think that's all that I've been watching. Oh, I've also been watching CJ Stroud with the Houston Texans because
He
for
was
those of
number
you
one
who
overall
don't
pick
know, he was number one overall pick
from Cali.
And I'm sure we talked about it in last year about the whole Deshaun Watson leaving Texans
And he's hurt.
for a huge good. I'm sorry, that was me.
I thought
But
of you when I saw that though.
I was like, oh darn. But anyway, so the Texans had to start basically over. And they used some guy last year. I can't remember. They called him the neck. But he obviously wasn't that relevant. But so now we have CJ Stroud, and he's been so like, I mean, phenomenal seems like a very strong word, but he's kind of turned the franchise around from, I mean, he beat my guy Burrow this year and this past week.
Yeah.
It was a like late last minute, like field goal kind of thing, but
still a win.
it's still a win.
Yeah.
But he's kind of turned it around to where like I watch Houston sports because of Houston Astros, but a lot of people who I follow with Houston sports have just been like super excited and how he's like kind of just revitalized the whole franchise and fan base. And then I think I saw like he set a record for like games started or like touchdowns that he's made or something happened, but it was him, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning and somebody else. But I'm like, awesome. If you're in that record already, then
and he's using this platform for Jesus. Yeah, like he expresses his spiritual. Oh, I didn't see that. This press conference against the Bengals. I forgot what happened, but he was like, let me just start off by saying, like, I give everything to Jesus, my Lord Savior, Jesus Christ, and without him, and like really just giving honor and praising God, first. So yeah. But he's very much in his faith, and he's not afraid to like show it and like, I don't want to say prophesize because I don't think he's like out there doing that, but it's like Tim Tebow. Yeah. Like Tim Tebow was very open about his faith too, which I just love that. Like, yes, I can love and talk about the Lord, and they'll be about.
I hadn't seen that. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, I know you're.
But then again, he beat. Too, so. Yes, I was like, well, I haven't. He beat Joe this week, so I probably didn't watch a lot of.
You're spiritual, but you're like, yes, Deshaun got hurt.
I'm still human.
Forgive me, Lord.
I'm still human. I'm still human.
God knows your heart.
I don't know.
No, yeah. For me, the biggest thing that I've been watching and loving is obviously my Raiders with Josh. I kind of mentioned it, Josh, not Allen, Daniels getting fired. Yeah, I'm like, so many Joshes and Daniels. Because Mike Daniels, but the Raiders coach got fired because they just weren't clicking. The locker room wasn't happy. And we got Antonio Pierce, who is a former player. He's straight out of Compton.
Yeah.
No, Compton. So like he was like Raiders, like NWA, Ice Cube, Raider, like because Los Angeles is a Raiders. I mean Rams too, but like I think the Raiders have been there.
The Rams
that's
a bigger thing. For like a week.
Well, they were there. They went to St. Louis, and so but then we had the Raiders. Even though they went to Oakland, they were still like LA was Raiders. But I don't know, I just love his vibe, but he's like connected the locker room so happy. Like after their first win with him, it literally reminded me of the championship that Burrow had, like how the locker room, they were smoking cigars. And I'm like, this is just a regular season game, but that's how like.
But they probably needed that. Yeah, but I feel like they probably needed that win before.
And so they're 2-0 under him, but like you can just see that it's changed. And to me, it's like Antonio is the Deion Sanders of the NFL right now, because everyone's like focusing on like, oh, how he's getting the players, the hype around it. So I just hope it stays the record, like we become 3-0 this week. But so that's been like kind of what I've been following and loving. And the fact that the president, who is a woman, is Black, he's Black coach, and then the GM, I think they changed out the GM too, but he's also Black, but they like got rid of the I think a lot of people out of that.
They cleaned house.
Yeah. But the I can't think of her name right now, but she had been there, but just the fact that that's been going on. But yeah, I think Devontae Adams is happier. So
Well, like poor thing. Like they weren't.
and we have
That
a
wasn't.
quarterback in I have his name on the tip of my tongue. So
Is
excuse
Jimmy not
me
there?
for he got hurt or he got sat. He got
Sorry,
benched, sat.
freaking.
He got benched or something.
Sorry,
I
I
think it's
should
like
know this, but
Aiden.
I'm like, what?
Aiden, like all of that
I
happened like
really
at
Jimmy's just.
once.
I like how Jimmy Garoppolo has just been making bank
Yes, I'm
because
gonna
he was making New England
that
money when he was going to 49ers. Like no matter what happened, because he was getting money, like no matter what. And then now he just leaves 40, gets hurt in 49ers.
right, and that's how we got
And then,
Brock to play
sorry. I mean, again, I'm
sooner.
very thankful for that because I love watching love watching Brock, but I am like Jimmy is just like banking on
Right,
maybe your
like what's
starting
going
quarterback for a week and then he's like,
yeah.
oh my god. Sorry to interrupt you, but I was like, what
No,
happened
because
to
I was trying to
Jimmy?
see what I feel bad that I don't know his name, but like I can see it, the quarterback, but anyway, we'll have to share it later. But anyway, I'm happy with my Raiders. Saints aren't doing that well, but yeah. But also what I've been following is a lot of attention on women's sports.
Is it Aiden O'Connell?
Yes, Aiden. I was like,
Sorry.
I thought it was like Aiden something, and I was like,
Yes.
yes. But women's sports just got it, like our women athletes and sports in general. And I saw this meme that, or not meme, but story that more than half of 2023's top 25 most marketable athletes are women. So I was just like, that is so awesome.
Did,
Um,
speaking of that, did you see this stat that more people tuned in to the
then the World
final
Series.
um women like Iowa versus LSU than like games 1 through 4 of the World Series?
Yes. Like it's just because, and then, oh my God, I don't even think we talked since then. No, because I think it's only been like a week or so. The Aces winning
Oh
the
yeah.
the Las Vegas Aces women's basketball women winning the WNBA championship for the second year.
Yeah.
And I just loved
They
the
were a vibe.
vibe.
They were a
Yes.
vibe.
I'm like, oh my gosh, like you guys are just living it up. They were just like crazy in a good way. And like
Yeah.
I loved how they just like ran over on the press conference. Like go follow the
They were a
Aces,
vibe.
y'all. Like they are
Who's the one who was
amazing.
calling out Usher?
Asia.
She was.
And she got
I
to,
know, and she got
yeah.
to, and she was like, now she goes, she like had a tweet that she was like, I am no longer two-time champion Asia. I am the woman who Usher sang to, and I
Uh,
am okay with it.
and she is great. And I just love it because she played under Dawn Staley,
Oh yeah.
who
With South Carolina, huh?
yes. So that is awesome. But
Well, I'm
yes, I
glad to
just love
see
that.
Becky got hers. I like because
Yeah.
I remember there was a lot of conversation about her like interviewing with one of the men's teams, and I can't even remember which one it was, but
Well, she
like
worked with the sport
she worked with
with the
she worked with
Spurs.
Pop,
Yeah.
and something happened where Pop had to like I think Pop wanted to go see it. Something was happening like around the same time. Oh my god,
Mm-hmm.
what was it? Um, but he like left to go because I think he wanted like it was very important to him for him to watch them. So I like that like he's still
Was it
supporting
during
her. I can't remember.
I don't
But
know
he
if that
like
was in season or but when they both got inducted into something. Because I think they were
maybe
still playing.
maybe that's what it was.
And she like flew to go to that
It
and then
was
flew back.
something where like I don't know, but like he was obviously like he had to go see if they were going to win or not. It was like 2 minutes left, and he was like, I have to go.
Yeah.
But no, I've always liked watching them, and he always
Yeah.
supported her. I got to see her a couple of years ago. I
Yeah.
always picked my team who I wanted to go see, and I always wanted to go see Pop and Becky.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, Becky Hammond she's a former WNBA player, but then she also coached for some time under Greg Popovich, who is the coach for the Spurs. And I want to say she was like one of the first women coaches in the NBA. Um, And so he was like very supportive of her. And then she got offered the job for head coach at Las Vegas Aces.
Yeah.
And so she's been there
And she's,
this 2 year. Yeah. And she's won a championship
yeah.
both years. So they're back. They're the first, I don't know if it's ever or the first in some years to be the first team to win a back-to-back championship
Yeah.
for the WNBA.
Yeah.
So it's just bringing more. I just love seeing that more and more attention and is being on sports. And then now that women's basketball's up, like you're seeing more coverage of that. You know, the women's basketball team here at LSU was in Vegas for opening weekend. They did lose to Colorado, but
They've been
they're a
fine
new
since
team.
they're
Yeah,
finals.
yeah, they're just meshing well together. But still, like they got some great players on there. And then Angel getting some deals. A lot of them are even
They're gonna be fine.
what's the one from Iowa? Like getting the
Caitlin
NIL
Clark.
deals. Yeah.
Caitlin, yeah.
Some good exposure. So that's kind of what I've been following and kind of paying attention to. I don't know if there's any other big stories that I'm sure once we get off, there will be. But going into what week of this is the NFL?
Week 11?
11, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, time is flying. Like, I feel like we just started, but you see, Aaron Rodgers is back walking, so it's like,
what is that? No, yes, like this
and throwing
is
the ball.
like what? This like okay. So for those of you who don't know, sorry, my lighting is like woo. So Kirk Cousins. Wait, what?
No, I was like our not conspiracy, but what we were
No,
saying
I
when
think
we
it is
watched
a
it.
conspiracy
That we were
because what it like he's already walking. He's already like walking.
something that people are out
like
for
throwing.
like end of the season.
Thank you. Like people who are like, oh, I have to have like
season
a whole
ending.
reconstructed ankle. Like if I am Kirk Cousins, I am calling my agent to be like, what is Aaron doing? Like I want what Aaron has.
The black
like,
hole, or what is it?
Like
the cave.
I was like, it's the cave. Did he go like what cave did he go to? What mushrooms is he taking? Like what's going like what is oh god, what was
he
his,
says he's gonna be back before the season is up.
And then like this is I'm sorry. I'm sure this man is a lovely human. No, I don't think I think he's weird. I think he's gonna be I'm sure he's a weird guy. Like he's
very unique.
What did he say when he like refused to say that he was like when he like told everybody that he was like well, I can't even think about it. What like he got the shot and he didn't, and he was like, "I said
the
I
COVID
was,
shot." Yeah.
Yes, he like used some word, and we're like, "Okay." And then he was like, "I didn't say I got it. I said I was below." Like we're like, "Yeah, but you insinuate." This dude is weird, and so I part of me like I hate any media coverage about it because especially it was like, "Oh, like." He's going to the Jets. He's gonna take him to the playoffs, and then he gets hurt the first drive, and now he's walking. I'm like,
and throwing the football and on the side, and
then like this is like
a lot more
pisses me off about him because I just maybe not pisses off is a strong word.
It was like someone just
I am
told
like
you to,
he's just like he like plants it. Like he'll go on the Pat McAfee show and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back," and then everyone else gets word and they're like, "What's he doing?" Like. He's just like a little pot stirrer. I didn't realize I felt this way until like you told me about it. I was like,
that's her new Tom Brady.
I don't know if I go that far because I still don't like Baker Mayfield. Still don't like Baker. Never gonna like Baker. But I do feel like Kirk Cousins exactly. But I feel like I do think like Aaron has done enough. Like again, I'm all about like if you are a good player, like we have like Baker and Deshaun like way down here. And then like, I think Rodgers is just like annoying at this point. Like, it's almost like, it's like he is kind of the Tom Brady in that way because it's like, you have to get like all the media coverage on you. Like, remember how like Tom Brady would make everything about him? Like, he would, I just feel
but
like.
Only after he left New England. I don't think he like attention grabbed during, like, we didn't really know Tom, like, as far as like personality. Then it became.
I guess so. I don't know. I still think he like. Well, he still like whined every time he got a flag, but again, I might be very biased.
LeBron be faking and whining too. It must be goats.
Yes, I'm like so. That's how I feel. So I feel for Kirk Cousins because I'd be like, give me what Aaron's doing. Give me the mushrooms. Give me what I have to give me the
Right.
caves. I'll go sit in a cave for a
I wonder if
weekend.
he called and was like, Aaron, so what's your therapist and all
And
that?
then
And
can
he
you
was probably like,
imagine? Like, that
no.
probably just like would make him like gloat, like, oh, but then he would also be the one who like spits out the stupidest crap. And then like, but it'd be real. And Kirk Cousins like hang up the phone and be like, absolutely not. No,
Right.
I'm just gonna sit out the season.
Like, yeah, who's gonna do
I'll
that?
stay here in my living room, pass the ball to my kid. I'm
Right.
not
I'm
because
still
he's
getting
probably
paid.
exactly. Yeah.
Something. So
So yeah,
but
week
so
11. Sorry, I just
as
want a
we go
huge
into
stand.
right, he might be playing in week 12. Who knows? We don't know.
It's good that we'll find out when he goes to the Pat McAfee show. And just be
Right, because
like,
that's where he like tells all his secrets. Like that's
is
where
it
he
McAfee?
reveals McAfee.
Sorry, I don't know why I was saying it that way. Sorry, but yeah,
Pat
the
McAfee.
McAfee.
Yeah. I
McAfee.
like Pat McAfee. Not
I
a lot of
love him.
people like him,
Oh, I
but
think
yeah,
he's
he gets the
lovely.
tea. He gets the tea
He
from
does get the
Aaron.
tea,
Yeah.
the
But as
mushroom
we
tea.
the special tea. As we go into week 11 though, like I want us to start a friendly bet of who is right. We may have the same one though, but Sunday night and Monday night, they always, or not just Monday night, but I know when I watch Sunday Night Football, they make their picks, the pregame stuff. So I want us to make
Are you
our
gonna put like
picks.
little graphics on the side of our screen?
Yes. Who, yeah, we need to have our production crew, like if I can figure that out.
Yes.
So for Thursday Night Football, I want to know your predictions, and we're going to see who's right next time we come back sooner than we'll be back next week. So Thursday night tomorrow, we're filming
Sorry,
on
I was just
Wednesday.
picturing it be like, oh, it's week 14, but week 11.
No, we're coming back, y'all.
Aaron won.
We're coming back. So tomorrow's Thursday night again, ladies, starts off the week, the NFL week. So we have the Bengals versus the Ravens.
Ravens have the better record. I feel like Joe's getting hot again though. He's like clicking with people. I think this is really hard.
It is.
They are in Baltimore though.
Mm-hmm.
And Lamar. I think Baltimore might have it, but I'm gonna obviously be cheering for Joe. I won't be mad if I lose this one. I won't be
But
mad.
you're gonna go with the Bengals?
I
It's like hard. You don't want to go against
that's
God.
I know. That's I was like, oh gosh, and this is getting recorded. They're gonna be like, Meredith, remember that time you said?
But what is your gut going?
Let's go.
Hard,
We
lady.
gotta go with Joe. We gotta go with Joe. I'm sorry. It cannot be recorded saying I'm not going for Joe.
Well, I am gonna go with the Ravens because I think they will get it, but I also have Lamar on my fantasy. So
Oh, you have like
I
personal
hope.
gain in this. Personal gain.
Okay, so we'll see who gets that right after this week. So our Sunday night football is the Vikings. So that's Josh Dobbs, the new guy playing, versus the Broncos, our former head coach here in New Orleans,
My
and
old
Russell
team.
Wilson and your old team.
I don't know. They had a messy game this past week. That like honestly, if the Bills would have been there up shape. I don't know, top
That
shape.
kind of has been a shocker too. Like I didn't say this, but the Jets and the Broncos winning games that I didn't think that they would win, like that's been a shock this season.
I know, and now the Jets play Buffalo next week or this week, sorry. And I'm like, I actually don't know what's gonna.
If the Bills lose to the Broncos and then the Jets back to back, like, and then if they play the Bears,
that's gonna hurt Josh Allen's, right? Because that's gonna hurt Josh Allen's like story.
Yeah.
I think because again, like we've talked about it before, like he's up there with the Patrick Mahomes and the Joe Burrows of the like AFC, and I'm like, bro, you ain't going.
I mean, what last season he was doing great. Like they were up there, when DeMar got hurt.
They've been winning, but they've been playing like very messy football. Like it hasn't been good football. It's been like messy football. So I think I'm gonna go with I think I'm gonna go with Minnesota for this game. I'm gonna go with Josh Dobbs.
Okay.
I mean, again, I will say Wilson kind of showed some of his like old self in this game. There was, I think it was Cortland Sutton who had this like phenomenal toe, like tippy toe catch in the end zone this year or this past week. And like again, Russell looked good, but I think I'm going with Dobbs. I'm going with Minnesota.
We're gonna be on the same page for that one because I'm gonna go with the Vikings as well. They just beat the Saints, so I think they're doing pretty good. And I think Josh is on a wave.
I
He's
think
been
he's
doing
getting his
pretty
like
good.
vibe. He's getting his
Yeah. And I love his story. Again, we like a good story for our player to follow, but
yeah.
he has alopecia. So that's why his head is shaved. But he also is like super smart. He's an aerospace engineering major. Like, and what did you say? We
Yeah,
we
the
were
4.0
discussing
graph.
4.0, like not to say that football players aren't smart, but like to take a heavy load like that in school, like there's very few that would like in medical.
I just think like, oh, well, if football doesn't work out for me, I'm just going to go and do some aerospace.
But I mean,
nonsense.
then to be smart, like the workload, like I can
Yeah.
barely balance my life right now. Like imagine taking aerospace.
I don't know. I'm sorry, I know a professional athlete, and if anything's like southern states, I'm like, I just want to know how many athletes really go to school, go to class. I just want to know that. I just want to know how many go to class because I know that they have a
We'll
thing
never
called like
know that
note
secret.
takers. I know. I just want to be like,
Yeah.
you should have like a good note taker. Like
In
I can't like
when LSU won the championship, how many guys went to class that year? Like every professor probably too was like, "Oh, you had a
So
national.
I
Oh,
just
you're
always,
winning."
yeah. I'm always like,
Unless they're anti-sports, you can
yeah,
have one
I sat
professor.
down with an athlete and they told me that they stopped going to a class because they couldn't read his note taker's handwriting. I was like, "And you just stopped going?" He was like, "Yeah."
Oh wow.
Oh, okay. Like,
Well, I hope he has a good backup if professional doesn't work out. You can't have a
keep
professional note
that
taker for
to
life.
myself.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna pray for him
Because
wherever he's at.
Jesus doesn't. I've already said enough catty things on this.
You already have to go talk to Jesus about what you said.
Gonna need a little bit of CJ Stroud in me.
Let's talk. Okay, so then the final big game, not to say the other games aren't big, but these are like the big moments, Thursday night, Sunday night, and Monday night. Monday Night Football rematch of the Super Bowl, the Eagles versus the Chiefs against Taylor Swift.
But it's a Taylor Swift game. That's the Taylor Swift game.
Yeah, because she's an Eagle fan.
She's an Eagle fan.
Well, she was.
And it's the
Who knows if she's
we don't know now.
I
But
have
then
2 teams, so she could have 2 teams, but
right.
I also don't have a
And
lover
then but
on one
now,
of
but
them.
see a part of it, but then she also has like the family member on the other team. So she can't like completely like, you gotta like, oh, this game, like you can cheer for both of them. Obviously she's cheering for her boo.
I wonder if they're gonna show Taylor and Jason's
I don't know if she
together.
Taylor might be on tour. I know that she just
Oh,
did
she was in
Argentina.
Australia or Argentina,
Buenos
but
Aires.
he went, so maybe she puts a pause.
So I don't know what's gonna happen because oh wait, she normally just tours on weekends, and this is a Monday night game.
How long is this tour for? Because I thought she was done, but she extended.
She's doing European now, but she's in New York right now, so I think she might.
So she is in the States.
Let's look it up. Let's look it up. I'm surprised I don't know that. I'm like,
yeah, that is still going. Yeah, they had their first kiss in front of cameras, I think, huh? At that concert.
Yes, she was so excited. Let's see. Oh wait, she's playing on the 19th. She is international. Let's see where she is.
And that's the day before the game.
Oh wait, I don't. Yeah, it's the day before the game. Let's see. Oh wait, maybe not. I think is she in Miami? Yeah, she's in Florida.
Oh, she made sure.
Wait, it's the. I can't tell. Wait, sorry. I can't. This is very confusing because it's also promoting her movie. So I'm like, is this movies?
Oh,
is this like where a movie is? Hold on. Sorry, I'm not buying film tickets. I already saw it. Stop. Okay, the Eras tour dates. Oh yeah, she's in Florida. She's gonna be wait, no. I'm so confused. That's
We're
next
gonna be
year.
surprised if Taylor's there too. We're gonna be watching for that, but
Let's
that's not
see.
our main focus.
Wait, hold on. We got it. We got it right here. November 17th. She might be in Rio de Janeiro. Yes.
Well,
She's
oh,
gonna be
so
in
she'll be
Rio.
missing.
Rio de Janeiro. But I'm telling you,
I wonder if they're like, don't bring no distractions.
She played this weekend in Buenos Aires or Argentina, and she was like in New York by Tuesday.
Oh yeah, well, I mean,
So
there's a
I
time
wouldn't put it
difference
past
too.
her to
Yeah.
make it back because now I'm very curious because the Chiefs are coming off a bye week, and because have you seen there's like a tweet that's like Travis Kelce got on a plane on his bye week and like traveled like 8 hours or whatever, and he was like, so basically if the guy you like wanted to, he would like
Oh, yeah,
like basically like if he
but
would
he
if he
also
wanted
has
to
money.
he would. That's why I was like, okay, I
And
feel
she
like that's a
has
little
money to
far-fetched.
be like, here's a
Okay.
jet. Like
Here's my
she can
you want my
afford
jet
it.
to come pick you up? Yeah. I was like, that's a little far-fetched, but like, okay.
Like they both
And
have
you can't get a
money.
text back, and he's like, but
Don't do that to these guys
yeah,
that are
I was
regular
like, I
guys.
do feel like that. I'm just like, oh, these poor kids are gonna be like
Right.
related, this like compared to Travis Kelce now. But I feel like they're coming off of a bye week. They're playing. It's Super Bowl. I really feel like this is going to be a really good Monday night game.
Yeah, I think so too. Who do you have?
I don't see. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. So I'm always like,
And you
well, you
have to
just never
stick
know
with
what
it.
can happen. I want the Phillies to. I mean, I want Philadelphia to win.
But you don't know. Their record is better,
But
but not that far.
Kansas City is coming off, but they're coming off a bye and a Monday, so that's like even longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how did they get that?
But
sorry, now that I'm thinking about, it, I'm like, how did they get?
If Taylor's not there, Travis's yards aren't as good. So,
so the real question
so
is,
they say
he doesn't perform as well. Did you see that the Broncos played "Shake It Off" after they beat them?
No, but
at the
that's
stadium.
Funny.
They played them at Mile High, and
that is funny.
They hadn't. This is a cool fact. I know we need to go, but
the Broncos.
I know. I'm not going to, but this is how my brain works. I'm going to, but sorry, my brain works because as a former Broncos fan, the last time that the Chiefs lost to the Broncos was to Peyton Manning, and that was like 10 years ago. And it was like all this stuff, like it had been so long since it happened. And but anyway, so and Travis didn't have that best of a game. So then they're like leaving the stadium and they're playing "Shake It Off" on the stadium, like on the speakers. I know. I was like, good for them. They planned that.
Wait,
one.
did Peyton retire from the Broncos, right?
After he won the Super Bowl with them.
So you have to go with who he retired with.
Oh, absolutely. But like, no, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't want them to do bad things, but like, no, Russell has not won me over. Like, everyone needs to remember that Peyton Manning started there was a season, literally the opening game of him being a Denver Bronco. I don't think it was his first year. No, I think it might have been. But he got like 7 touchdowns in one game. Like, Russell Wilson has not done anything as a Bronco for me to say, hey, they are in good hands.
Yeah. He's not. And
even with Sean, they have not done anything for me to be like, oh, I think the Broncos are back.
But they did say that
I did not pick them because I was like, no, I think Dobbs is gonna go. Sorry.
So you have Eagles.
Yes. But I want to be on record that if Taylor Swift is in that suite, it will be a different game. It'll be a different game.
I will always go with Eagles over the Chiefs because of Jalen. But I got Eagles too. I'm excited to see their mom. She gets to go to one game this week. Because they're
did you see that she went to Germany for them? That was so sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so I'm picking Bengals, Minnesota.
So we're on the same page for 2. So we just have tomorrow night, Thursday night football. We are going head to head. I got the Ravens. You got the Bengals. We'll see what Lamar and Burrow can do. Who's gonna come out on top?
Oh man.
Last thing before we head out is just ladies, if you're watching the NBA, we are in the NBA season, and there are some games, if you've noticed, yesterday was Tuesday. So yes, yesterday some of the courts look a little different on certain game days. So just wanted to let you guys know what was going on with that. I'm still kind of trying to understand it, but so I guess to boost up excitement and I guess maybe viewerships, the NBA has in-season tournament going on. So they have this whole like group play where they took all the teams, put them in groups randomly, but then you're also, I think it was like also determined based off of your season from last year. So if if you were the top uh in your division or had a great season, forgot how it was. And then if you were like 6th through 8th or something like that, you got put in a group. And so every Tuesday, it started November 3rd and it goes till November 28th. And then there's a playoff, like a championship. And that championship game is going to be in Vegas. And I think it all ends on December 9th. So these games that happen, it's every Tuesday and Friday are in season tournament games. And there'll be a knockout round. So once we get past a certain point, then it's like go hard or go home. One, you lost, you're out. But they get a trophy. These do still count to regular season. It's no added. I guess it just brings more excitement or supposed to bring more
It's
excitement
like
during the
random
season.
ones. Like I saw
Yeah.
that they had like a Succession one, and I was like, but like
Yeah, I don't really get
that's
it.
not even on air anymore. Like Succession
Uh,
ended. They succeeded.
yeah.
Like I don't understand. So like again, I was just like, this is interesting.
Yeah.
This is a little reach.
But I don't like
But
the courts too. Like these
I know.
colors. Like I want to know the background, the backstory to like why they're so colorful. I'm sure there's a reasoning. So I'm gonna do some research, but let me know if you like those courts. I'm gonna put some photos up of them. But like the Pelicans court yesterday against the Mavs,
I
it was
didn't watch
like
that game because no one would go with me.
but then they got blown
A
out, so you
little
might
bitter.
not have been happy.
I am very glad that I did
The
not get in the
Mavs did
car
not
and
win.
rainy,
Yeah,
drive an
the
hour in
weather.
the rain, walked from this to the stadium from parking in the rain to see them perform the way that they did and then have to come back home.
I know.
I think the Lord took care of me there, but
Yeah.
I'm still annoyed that just no one appreciates Luca. No one.
Yeah. If I didn't have
I know,
my
I know,
thing, I would have been there
I know. But
but yeah, so that's what's going on with the NBA with those things in between the regular season. They're just trying to get more attention. I just don't like the courts, but we'll see how this goes. And I guess if they'll continue, but this is the first season that they're doing that. So if you notice that, but yeah, there's some other exciting stuff going on. Draymond choked somebody. So just Draymond being Draymond yesterday.
I was like normal, just
Yeah,
normal
so
Draymond.
we'll see what happens with him if he's going to get suspended for however many games, fined, because that was a bad like choco, and he did not let him go. Like, and he didn't even go after him; he was going after Clay. It was a fight there. So if you haven't seen that, just look on Instagram because it's all over the place. Draymond putting, I'm not even sure the guy's name in a chokehold, but they were playing the Timberwolves, I believe. So yeah, that's
Oh,
going
wild.
on. But yeah, that's what we have. So we'll see how our Thursday night game goes, who wins, because hopefully we both are winners on Sunday and Monday.
Okay.
But yeah, pay attention to that game because it's that rematch of the Super Bowl. We'll see if Taylor's there. Because now we do want Taylor there if
This
Travis
would be
is
the
gonna
game to do
do
it.
to Travis to do bad. Not for him to do bad for him, like, but we don't want I'm gonna say I don't. We were on the same page last year about that. We don't want the
Yeah.
Chiefs to go again to the Super Bowl. We want someone new to come in.
Done.
So
They got it. Like, just, you don't need to go.
right,
You don't need to
right.
go. I don't need to see Brittany and Patrick there. I mean, not Patrick, Jackson there. I don't need to. I don't. I've seen it enough.
We don't need to see Brittany and Taylor's new handshake.
Well, you know what? Taylor's going to be, I think, in Tokyo. So like, there's no reason. See, this is a NFL script right here. They cannot go to the Super Bowl this year because they're not going to get any female viewers because they know that Taylor's not going to be there because she's going to be in Tokyo. So
Unless they make it and Roger calls her and she reschedules that Tokyo and
No,
like,
she's not.
let's switch it to this date, y'all.
No, I think
Tokyo, I have to go see my boo.
rewrite the script. Rewrite the script.
Right. We want to see someone new anyway, y'all. So
Exactly.
hopefully, maybe Burl.
So I'm saying this on record. So the last, so weird. The last few years I've done dry January with no social media, and I've come back earlier than I'm supposed to. Like I come back either like the last day of January or the second to last day because of like the playoffs. And it's always been for Joe. It's always been for Joe. And he's lost every time. Every time I break my
even if they're doing well, you might have to stay off.
I have to, yes. That's what I'm literally waiting. I'm waiting until February 1st to get back on social media this year. Because I was like, I'm done. I'm tired of watching Joe lose. I'm tired of, I think like that's what it was. Like I came back like the Sunday of like playoffs because I wanted to see like the content, and he like lost that night, and I was like, oh my god, it's because I came back early. It's because I didn't stay off until February 1st. So after 2 years, I'm like, nope, sorry. Shame on, happens once, shame on them. Happens twice, it's gonna be me. It's all on me. So
next week we're gonna put our Super Bowl predictions of where we're at because we have 8 weeks left until till wild card, till playoffs start.
I hate this. I hate doing this.
So we're gonna next week, so week 12, when we give our Monday, Sunday, and Thursday games, but we're also gonna say who are we saying is going to the Super Bowl as of that week.
Okay.
Who's gonna be the matchup? So y'all tune in to see who we say and then follow to see if we're right. Do we know what we're talking about? Anyway, we do. Thank you guys for joining. Please like and subscribe, follow. We'll be back. Watch some sports this weekend. Thanks for joining.
Bye.